Hey, it's Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, and this is the Paint It Pink build. The Four Horsemen are joined. Actually, we've joined up with the Beefeaters and the Three Blind Mice to participate in this challenge along with tons of other people. So we're looking forward to it, and I cannot wait to jump into this one. So today is the 17th, and this is my casting. The Star Wars Luke Skywalker Volkswagen drag bus van thing. So this is it. This is the casting that I chose to paint it pink. The body is metal. The base is metal. The lift up lid there on the back with the spoiler and the scoop for the engine is plastic. This has one screw and one screw only, whereas the Volkswagen emblem actually inserts in the front, so that's pretty much what holds it in place there. And once you find a place to actually pry it, it comes off pretty easy and painless. But I like the wheels. I liked everything about it, so for once I actually won't be changing anything on the chassis. And I really, as I took it apart, I really kind of dug the engine. You know, it's a dual engine with the Stinger. I call it the Stinger. It's very similar for Volkswagens on the back. And I liked it. I wanted to be able to see more of it. So as I sat here and contemplated life's great mysteries and what the hell I was going to do with this casting, I decided to kind of do a little bit of a modification. I like the spoiler. I thought it set off the back, because without it, even though the motor was sticking out, or the exhaust, it needed something to kind of break it up a little bit. So here you can see me taking it apart, putting it back together, trying to get a rough idea of what I want to do, and making sure that I think it's going to look, at least stand a chance of looking halfway decent. So you can see I kind of already marked it off. So I break out my whizzer wheel off my Dremel tool, and I just jumped right in and didn't give it a hell of a lot of thought. I just kind of had a rough idea of what I thought it might look like in my head and what I wanted. So you can use a jeweler saw or whatever. I use pretty much a whiz wheel for just about everything on a Hot Wheels. You can't get in there for the little area there, so I find by making a bunch of horizontal cuts, it allows me to take out the bulk of the plastic or material, depends on what I'm working on, and then after that, then I can kind of just work my bit back and forth. So you can see me making some slices there, and then that just allows me to kind of wiggle it back and forth and knock off everything I need to, and then I can file it or cut it or do what I need to make it nice and smooth after the fact. So what this allows me to do is, you know, still have the spoiler, which looks really cool. I think it's a great design, but I think, you know, because it only hinges up just a little bit, as it sits, you kind of miss the motor, which is the cool part of this whole thing. So, or at least I think so. So that's basically what I'm after right there. And that's kind of where I decided to go with. And once I pretty much cut everything apart, I didn't really have much of a choice anyways. So, excuse me, that's pretty much what I ended up with. And then, like I said, you can just take a file and smooth it out, because obviously when you're cutting plastic with anything that rotates, you're going to melt a little bit, so you have to do a little bit of cleanup, whereas a jeweler's saw or something like that, it's less cleanup, but it takes 3 times as long. You got to weigh your options and what you want to work with and how you want to do things. I'm usually in a rush, so I find the whiz wheel works really, really good. But in the end, you know, built this cancer challenge, you know, the Paint It Pink, obviously to bring awareness to being Cancer Awareness Month. This is very near and dear to my heart, and I did this last year. I participated, and I'll show some video of that at the end, just to kind of give you a reminder in case you missed the video, and I'll put a link up above to that video as well, so that way if you guys decided to watch it, you can. And I ended up auctioning that off and the money went to a great charity. So what I decided to do is I'm going to go kind of the same theme as I did last year, a lot of pink and black. So I painted those parts black that I just showed you. The force is strong with this one. That was after 2 days in the citrus strip. I still couldn't get Luke Skywalker's face off the side of this damn thing. So I did it again, and then again, and finally I got it to the point where I got all the paint and the decals off, and this is what I ended up with. Always go around and clean out all your cracks with a Dremel tool or some sort of a, I find a wire brush works really good and helps get everything out, your door jamb cracks, and this has some vents on the side over the rear wheels that works out as well, and it just makes sure that there's nothing in there, and then the paint has something great to adhere to. This was a little bit of a challenge in the back, trying to get in the wheel wells. The bottom wasn't so bad. The top, a little bit of a challenge to get in there and get all the goo out from the citrus strip. Don't forget, if you like this content, make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video. So once you've got it to a point where you like it, I always wipe it down to get any dust, debris, anything like that off, and the mineral spirit seems to work very well for that. I'm going with a base of the white primer. I think last year I went with a darker primer, and obviously gave the paint a little bit darker look. So I'm going with the electric pink from Testors. Yes, I'm using a rattle can again. After if you notice, I painted the rims. I painted them black, and now I'm doing all my details underneath the chassis, which is a mix of my chrome pen, my silver Sharpie, and miscellaneous things like that. I did the center hubs for the wheels, actually the axles in chrome as well, just to kind of offset it. I wanted this to be very subtle. I didn't go crazy with the paint. I had thought about going with like an Eddie Van Halen theme, and I actually did do that, and then I dropped it on the carpet. And I had little shag pieces everywhere, and I got fed up, and after countless hours of work, I didn't want to go through that again, so I just painted it pink. I use Citadel paints for all my detail work, like my seats, seat belts, anything like that. So the Testors gives you a nice high gloss, but obviously I still like to put the clear coat over it. So after I painted it, I chromed out the headlights and the tail lights and the marker lights, and then I paint over that to bring out the details in that as well, using the Create X Pro White for the headlights, and then the Citadel Yellow and Red for the respective marker lights front and rear. And you can see I also painted the parachute red, which was probably a poor choice because it doesn't really stand out on the bright pink. But most parachutes that I've seen, I always tend to go red. I have no idea why. That's kind of where I go with it. And, we all make choices we regret. You can ask my first wife. But anyways, so, again, this stuff like this is near and dear to my heart. As I said earlier, I lost my mother to cancer, and I'm pretty sure just about anybody who's watching this now has either known somebody or loved someone that has passed from cancer. And unfortunately, it still needs, I can't believe after all these years we don't have a semblance of a cure, and it's disheartening. And it's one of those things that's hard to beat, and when you do beat it, it takes its toll on you and your loved ones. So if you're going through this, somebody who is, all I can say is I'm sorry, and stick with it. And there are cases where things get better, and it's all in the fight. So anyways, you can see I did my spoiler. I painted the sides pink. I did a wheel pink, one tooth on the wheel. This is the body. I'm going to be clear coating it with Automotive 2K Clear. This is what I did last year. You can see it's very, very similar. The black, the pink, the gloss. I kind of wanted to stick with the same theme, only because I liked it and I thought it would look good on this particular model. You can see how I clear coated everything, except for the actual motor and interior piece. Everything else has been heavily clear coated. with, I believe, 4 coats of that 2K clear. And you can see I'm handling it very sensitively with my fine white gloves that don't have anything on it. I have like 8 pairs down in the basement, and they're all disgusting, and I keep using them, and I refuse to throw them away. But for the video, I use some nice clean ones. So pretty much that's what I had. This is what I started with, which is pretty cool to begin with. You'll also notice I turned the wheels inside so that the red lines are on the inside. But the Luke Skywalker van is no more. It is now my painted pink entry, and I like it. I went for subtle. I think I achieved subtle. I wanted to highlight the motor. I think I achieved that. I wanted the black and pink look. It's a lot brighter pink than last year's. I really dig it, and I hope you guys do as well. Make sure you leave me good, bad, or indifferent comments down below. Make sure you check out everybody's videos. There's going to be tons. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you again on the next one.